Hello, I'm Chris Bonpastori, a Technical Support Senior Analyst at Quest. In this video, we will be going over a new installation of Desktop Authority. We will cover pre-installation considerations, a walkthrough of the entire installation process, and a brief overview of the post-installation configuration. Before starting an installation, it is recommended that you review the Installation Upgrade Guide that is hyperlinked in the accompanying knowledge base article. The installation guide will have more information about all aspects of the install process and will include version-specific system requirements. Desktop Authority's server components can be installed on a domain controller. However, the best practice recommendation is to install Desktop Authority on a member server. Desktop Authority requires IIS for its web-based console. In order to mitigate any possible side effects with other web-based applications and possible system performance issues, it is recommended that Desktop Authority be installed on a dedicated server. It is possible for an antivirus program to detect and report Desktop Authority as a virus because of the complexity of files and updates that occur. This false positive detection by an antivirus program may cause Desktop Authority's installation files to be quarantined, making the program non-operational. To bypass this situation, it is recommended to configure some exceptions in your antivirus program. These exceptions can be found in the KB article SL4593. For use with Desktop Authority services, one admin level account is required. This account is required to have read-write access to all NetLogon shares, and to be a member of the local administrators group on all applicable workstations. In addition, one user level account is also required. Now we will begin the installation process. The Desktop Authority installation requires administrative rights. If you are not logged on as an administrator, please log on as administrator before beginning the installation. After you have downloaded the installation file, begin the installation by double-clicking on the desktopauthority.exe icon. The Desktop Authority Installation Wizard will walk you through a series of dialogues prompting for information that is needed to install and configure Desktop Authority for your organization. Follow the wizard by entering the required information and clicking Next to advance to the following page. Click back to go to the previous page, and click Cancel to abort the installation. The software prerequisites and hardware requirements will be checked and the setup files will be extracted and executed. This initial step of the install will also check privileges, the OS version, and determine if .NET is installed. Then it will present the license agreement for approval. The license agreement must be accepted and the correct version of .NET must be detected or the installer will not continue. Desktop Authority's installation will automatically download required software that is not already installed. In the event there is no internet connection, links to the download location of required prerequisites are provided in the installation guide. Accept the license agreement and click Next. The next dialog describes the required prerequisite components that Desktop Authority will install. If necessary, click the Install option for each prerequisite component that is not already installed, as indicated by a yellow warning icon. Click Next. Enter the username, company name, and serial number in the appropriate fields. Users evaluating Desktop Authority should leave the serial number blank, but are required to enter a username and company name. If you have purchased Desktop Authority, you can also enter your serial number now. You may use the Browse button to locate the register.ini file to fill in all the registration information instead of manually typing it in. Once the registration information has been entered, click Next. An evaluation is fully functional for a time period of 30 days. Desktop Authority requires an instance of Microsoft SQL Server. The database is used to store all configurations as well as a data collection repository for reporting. Desktop Authority can install a new instance of SQL Express or use an existing SQL Server instance. Select the appropriate option in the dialog. When selecting to have Desktop Authority install a local instance of SQL Express, you must apply an SA password. The password is required and must meet the password complexity policies set for the domain. When selecting to use an existing SQL Server instance, type in the server name/instance name or press the Browse button to select an existing instance. Last, select either Windows or SQL Server authentication. Click Next to continue. If Desktop Authority is installing a SQL Server Express database, select a path and destination for the databases. This dialog also provides the ability to change the default installation path of the Desktop Authority Manager. Once the file locations are set, click Next to continue. The Desktop Authority services are composed of the Operations and Manager services, and are background services that are used to push data through the system. The Operations and Manager services can be configured using a single user account. See the installation guide for detailed descriptions on these services and user permission requirements. Assigning an account to these services that is a member of the Domain Admins group should meet all the necessary requirements. Click the Browse button to select an appropriate user account and enter the credentials for each service. Leave the box Create a database logon if necessary. This will automatically create the required logon and permissions for the SQL databases. The service accounts and ports may be changed at a later point in time if needed, using the Desktop Authority Setup tool. Click Next to continue. The User or Group dialog gives the opportunity to designate a user or group as a super user. Any user or users within a group designated as a super user will be given full control in the Desktop Authority Manager. The account used while installing Desktop Authority will automatically be added as a super user. Click the Browse button to select the appropriate user or group. Click Next to continue. The Website Configuration dialog is used to configure the web-based console. The website selection allows you to configure Desktop Authority to use a site other than the default site in IIS. If you choose to use a site other than the default, it must be created prior to getting to this part of the installation. Since Desktop Authority updates IIS, you have the option of performing a backup before any changes are made. It is recommended to always perform this backup of IIS, especially if there are other applications on the same site, as there is always a possibility they may conflict with each other. If there are any IIS problems following the install, the backup can be restored. Click Next to continue. Security certificates are used to ensure secure communication traffic. If there are no certificates available on the server, select the Create Self-Signed Certificate option, and a new self-signed certificate will be created automatically for use with Desktop Authority. However, if there are installed certificates on the server and none with the Desktop Authority name, choose either to create a new self-signed certificate or select an existing certificate to use. Click Next to continue. Now that the install configuration steps have been completed, the installation is about to begin. To run Desktop Authority following the installation of its files, click the Launch Desktop Authority Manager after installation checkbox. Click Install to begin the installation. As the install proceeds, each section of the process will automatically be expanded to show the details and progress of the installation. If an error is detected, you may click on the section where the error is shown for more detailed information. You will be given an option to roll back the installation. Depending upon the error occurred, the rollback may be mandatory or optional. Once the installation is complete, click the Finish button. If you previously chose to load Desktop Authority following the installation, the Desktop Authority web console will be loaded in your default browser. Finally, you will be presented with a login dialog. Log into the Desktop Authority console. Now you have successfully installed Desktop Authority. On this page, you will see post-installation configuration options. Scroll through the options and complete them as necessary. This concludes this video. To learn more about Desktop Authority, visit support.quest.com/desktop-authority.